Hey guys, it is time for my June wrap-up video, and Goodreads is trying to tell me that I read 14 books this month. 14. 14. That's a number. Yeah, let's get to them. So first up I read Belong to Me by Marissa de Los Santos, which I did a review for, so you can click around here to go see my full thoughts on this book. This is the sequel to Love Walked In, which I read a few months ago, and follows the main character through her married life and her move to suburbia. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. After that, I reread The Year of the Secret Assignments by Jacqueline Moriarty. This book is about three best friends who are in an English class who have to write to the rival school, and they start a pen pal program, and they all get boys, and they all form relationships with them. It used to be one of my favorite books, but now that I reread it, I've realized how much of an impact it had on my life, and not all that positively. And I don't like it that much anymore. And I did a personal review on Goodreads, which I will link down below. It's much more about my experience with this book. I think there's some really bad concepts in here, and the writing is just trying way too hard to be witty, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. After that, I started the 30-day reads, which I have a video about, so you can click on my face for the video. I explain what 30-day reads is and who started it and etc. The first book I read for the 30-day reads was How to Talk to Girls at Parties by Neil Gaiman, which also included a short preview of his new novel, The Ocean at the End of the Lane. The ebook was about half novella, half preview, so the novella was really short. It's about two boys at a party, but the party turns out not to be the party they thought it was, and things get really interesting, and the people there are very interesting. And it was, of course, Neil Gaiman, so it was written really good, and it was really interesting. I just wish that he had turned the concept into a longer story, like even a novel. That would be really awesome, because it was really fun to read. His preview of his new book, it made me not want to read the book. It was just not fun to read. I'm talking about a dead cat in detail, and I just didn't like it. So I gave How to Talk to Girls at Parties 3 out of 5 stars. And then also on my Kindle, I read Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and her daughter Samantha Van Leer. That was an experience. For those of you that don't know, Jodi Picoult wrote a book with her high school age daughter. So this book was very obviously written by a teenager. While there's nothing against people who write books in high school, nothing against them, I just don't think they should be published without extreme editing, and I feel like this didn't have enough editing. It has a really awesome concept though, where this girl is really in love with this book, and she reads it and she realizes that the main character can actually speak to her, and that he's a real person acting out the story every day whenever the book is opened, and just living his life having to perform this story day after day after day. And it's just a very interesting concept. He's trying to get out of the book into the real world, and of course they fall in love, and etc. And it was a really awesome concept. I just wish that it was written by an adult with some experience in writing, because I feel like Jodi Picoult just kind of slapped her name on the cover and went, sure, we'll publish this, sweetie. Good concept, very bad execution. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Okay, sorry for the scenery and lighting change. My camera died, so I had to plug that in. And okay, let's keep going. Then I finally finished a book that I've been reading for so long, and that is Googled by Ken Aletta, and this was really good. I love Google. I love everything about Google. And so this was super informative and just really good. One thing that I did not really love about this is that we didn't just learn about the history of Google and the history of people making Google. We learned about the history of every single person in the valley during the late 90s. Like, we could have just learned about their competition and history about their competition, but we learned the biographies of every person in the digital revolution in the early 90s. Like, there was a lot. There was a lot. But I still give this 4 out of 5 stars because Google, you made YouTube what it is. I love you, Google. I love you, YouTube. Then I read You and Me Dream, which I did a full review on of the whole series, which you can click around wherever the annotation is. I don't know. It'll be there. It is the typical coming out teenage lesbian high school romance in the beginning, and then it gets cray-cray and surreal and paranormal and just really good in the middle, and it just keeps getting better and it just keeps getting amazing, and it was really good. So I gave the first 3 volumes of You Plus Me Dream 3 out of 5 stars, and then I gave the last 3 volumes 5 stars. And then I read Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews, and this book has just been praised everywhere, and so I was really looking forward to reading it, and it disappointed me so much. I'm so disappointed in this book. The main character is the worst. He's just the worst. He's terrible. He's a really shitty guy. Now, I understand that it's supposed to be realistic, and he's not supposed to fall in love with the girl with cancer, but he didn't even like her, and they weren't even friends, and he doesn't really learn a lesson at the end, and I don't understand why this was even written. And Earl, all of the racial stereotypes, all of them. Didn't like it because the main character sucked ass and was really sexist and really gross, and the author made the one black character just super stereotypical and not realistic at all. I understand this is supposed to be realistic, but that's not. And not good. No. 2 out of 5 stars. It was humorous at some points when he wasn't being gross, but... And then I read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it was really good. I liked it a lot. One thing though, I did read it in one sitting. I I missed some of the impact of the symbolism and all of the things, so I'm really looking forward to rereading this because it was really good, and I gave it 4.5 stars because I did miss some of the stuff and I didn't get the full impact of how great this book is, but once I reread it, I think I will get all of the good things. And then finally I read This Dark Endeavor by Kenneth Opel. This was all about Victor Frankenstein's early life as a young adult. His twin brother comes down with a deathly illness, so him, his best friend Henry, and his cousin Elizabeth have to go and try to find ingredients to the elixir of life. It's all action-packed, and there's lots of adventure, and there's a bad guy. It also has a lot of instances where you can tell that the wheels are turning in his head, and he's like, oh, I wonder if you could do this. And you can kind of tell where he's turning evil. It's really interesting for a young adult book, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I am not going to do a TBR pile this month because all of the books I'm going to be reading in July you can see in my 30-day read video, which I will link once again here and down below. Now I have to go finish my outline for Camp NaNoWriMo, which starts today if you're watching this on Monday, which you will because I will be uploading it on Monday, and it's currently Sunday night, and I don't have my outline done. If you are participating in either 30-day reads or Camp NaNoWriMo, let me know. I want to talk to you because funness. And if you guys ever want a full review on any of these books I didn't do a full review on, just ask and I will do one. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!